got the book Swimmy, written by Leo Lionni in 1963. This is kind of an old book. All right, themes developed in this book are teamwork, cooperation, celebrating differences, bravery, leadership, overcoming loss and trauma. And this book has art projects. So Leo Lionni was like super famous like graphic designer, so his illustrations and like the artistry behind them are actually like super important. So you should do art projects with this too. So all of the art in here is stamped with like textured materials or objects or sponges. They are also like surfaces that have been painted over and then stamped. So like lots of different paint artsy stuff here. All the paint is translucent. You're gonna see that in the illustrations. So yeah, you should definitely do an art project when you read Swimmy. All right, let's get into the questions. On the first page, what is the setting? And what facts do we know about Swimmy? Okay, so these are key details. It literally says right in the text. You can point your finger at the answer. It takes place in the ocean, unique setting. And what facts do we know about Swimmy? We know two things about Swimmy. He is a blackfish. He is not red, like literally all of his brothers and sisters. And we know that he is the fastest swimmer. You can point to those answers. Those are key details. All right, jumping forward quite a bit. Did we not have a question on this page? No, we don't. His siblings all get eaten by a fish, yeah, on the next page. Okay, so his siblings are all gone, every last one of them. Character development. How does Swimmy react at first to the fact that all of his siblings were just eaten by the big giant tuna? So at first, he is very sad, and he is lonely, and he is scared. You can see the illustration, dark drab colors kind of signify that. But he starts swimming in the ocean, and he immediately sees everything that is kind of beautiful and wonderful and amazing around him, and that makes him happy again. So he like just keeps swimming. Character development. Why and how do Swimmy's feelings change after his siblings are eaten? I guess we kind of just talked about that. He went out in the ocean and he's like, oh my gosh, the ocean is full of beautiful things, and that kind of lifts his spirit up again. And that's what we do for the next few pages. We swim around the ocean and we admire all the beautiful stuff in the ocean. It is pretty remarkable down there. All right, interpret words and phrases. Why do you think the author wrote, quote, pulled by an invisible string instead of swam smoothly in a very straight line? So one, your kid should recognize this as some fancy language. That could be like a pre-question, like what is fancy here about this language? It's definitely like metaphorical, pulled by an invisible string. They do not mean that literally. An invisible string doesn't exist. So why did they write that instead of swam smoothly in a very straight line? This just comes down to like author craft and choosing words that kind of help give you like a more powerful experience of the text. Because if I said this fish swam smoothly in a very straight line, like, yeah, you can picture that, but like it just sounds better and like it just feels more, a little bit more powerful, a little bit more intense, a little bit more like visually appealing. The idea that they were pulled by an invisible thread. So some fancy words here worth talking about the author's craft. Integrate visual ideas. What details can the illustrator show better with pictures than with words? So this is like my favorite illustration in the entire book. Lionni did the sea kelp by pressing like lace doilies into the paint, and it's really pretty, in my opinion. So what details does the illustrator show better with pictures than with words? I think just like the beauty of this, because like this isn't even real under the ocean, and like that's a real pretty picture. And that is what Swimmy is appreciating this entire time. He's swimming around the ocean by himself, observing things, and he's like, wow, the ocean is really beautiful and amazing. He is gaining an appreciation for everything under the ocean. All right, this is the page with the eel. Interpret words and phrases. Are there words or phrases that seem surprising or funny? I love the way he put this. An eel whose tail was almost too far away to remember. Like, eels are really long, they're weird, but to put it that his tail was so far away that it was too far away to remember, like, I don't even know. I just love the way he phrased that. Instead of just saying the eel was really long, his tail was too far away to remember. So again, just recognizing the fancy language, just recognizing that like the author went out of their way to make this sound very appealing. And again, like making the reader's experience a little bit more powerful with like artistry in their words, in their word choice, author craft. All right, analyzing point of view. This is where he's run into the next school of redfish. Analyze point of view. How do Swimmy's actions show what he or she, we don't know if Swimmy's a boy or a girl, doesn't say. How do Swimmy's actions show what he or she is thinking and feeling inside? How do the other fish see things differently? So Swimmy's actions, what does he do? He swims and he sees a school of fish and he immediately says, let's go swim and play. So his words, his actions say like he wants to share everything he just experienced with these other fish. Let's go out, let's go play, follow me. Now, how do the other fish see things differently? They immediately reply, we can't, the big fish is out there. Swimmy knows this, he knows there's a big fish that's gonna eat him, so he knows like the big fish has a problem. Then he says, but you can't just lie here, we must think of something. So these fish are terrified of the big fish. They probably lost some brothers and sisters too. And they're like, we can't go out there. There's a big fish out there and it's gonna get us. This is kind of where the book comes into like coping with trauma. Swimmy has been through trauma. He lost literally every single one of his brothers and sisters to that big fish who ate them at the beginning. These fish have been through trauma and are now like hiding away from it. Swimmy went out in the ocean, swam around, saw how pretty things were, and he's like, you know what, things are okay. So this is where we're getting into how like the book is talking about like ways to cope with trauma. And he says, we must think of something. So they've both been through stuff and Swimmy's like, guys, we have to think of something. You can't just live here in this dark spot forever. We have to think of something. Okay, so bring it back to the question. How do Swimmy's actions show what he or thinking is feeling inside? How do the other fish see things differently? So even though they've probably been through very similar experiences, Swimmy's reaction and the other fish's reactions are completely different. Swimmy's like getting out there, he's finding other things, he's seeing beauty and purpose in the world. These other fish aren't there yet. Okay. Reading about fish, talking about trauma. Here we go. Okay, character development. How has Swimmy changed since the beginning of the story? In the beginning of the story, we never see Swimmy say like he feels like a leader or like he stands out from his other siblings. He's just another fish in the bunch, and he has obviously changed. His little walkabout through the ocean has changed him, and he's kind of become a leader. So central idea, what has Swimmy learned over the course of the story? That gets to the idea of like, he is a leader. He's gone out there, he's overcome things, and he is sticking his little fish neck out, becoming a leader, digging up some bravery, and he's gonna help these fish because he wants these fish to experience the same thing he's experiencing, right? So Swimmy has changed, he's learned stuff, and it's kind of bringing out the inner leadership fish in Swimmy. He's discovering some things about himself. All right, key detail. What detail helps us understand Swimmy as a brave leader? This is also like a visual thing because Swimmy is the eye. And Swimmy says, I'll be the eye. So like, what leads you around? Your eyeballs. He picks a very important part of the fish that like he's gonna be. He's not just in the fish, he's like, I'll be the eye. So he is demonstrating leadership, and also that is like illustrated symbolically through him being the eyeball of the fish. So they all become a fish so they can scare the other fish away. The little fish become a big fish together. Okay, character development. What was the turning point for Swimmy when he or she learned something new? I would say it was when he ran into the big school of fish that were hiding. And he realized, like, you fish are missing out, and I gotta share this with you, and I'm gonna help you get out of this dark corner that you're in. We're gonna work together. I'm gonna lead you. Teamwork, cooperation, collaboration. I'm gonna lead you. You can trust me, and I'm gonna take you out and show you how we can do this. So that turning point is like when he saw the fish and he was like, no, you guys are missing out on something. So he wanted to share what he was experiencing. And that is the end of Swimmy. So pretty freaking adorable book if you ask me. Again, about teamwork, cooperation, celebrating differences. Oh, Swimmy's the only black fish. All the other fish are red. So he's different from everybody. Bravery, leadership, overcoming loss and trauma. So this is a must-read book with your kid, especially if your kid is artistic, because this book is ridiculously artistic, and you got to do the little art project, all right? Get messy. Okay, so go get this book with your library. It is an absolute must-read with your like pre-K, first grade, and have a lot of fun reading.